It has been 4 years. Okay, that one doesn't count. It has been almost 7 years. No, okay, next one. It has been almost 10 years since the last real Battlefield released. So, with the Battlefield 6 beta happening, I thought it was about time that I gave my thoughts on what we've been given and what we can expect from this new title. To state the obvious, Battlefield still plays similarly to previous Battlefield titles. The time to kill is super fast, and while you won't see enemies strafe jumping around corners or trick-shotting you like it's 2012 all over again, people are still super precise and fast with their decision making. While accuracy is still a factor in this game, I've always found that Battlefield works better when you adapt to the situation and experiment with your kit. So far with this title, it helps not to get too caught up in the idea of only using one class or weapon. Battlefield 6 has changed the class system a little bit. While you still have the Assault, Engineer, Support and Recon, the specialist part of these classes have been removed, meaning that Battlefield is no longer a hero shooter. Finally! The classes have also been condensed a little bit. Instead of having to choose between healing options or supplying ammunition, they've been brought together. While I was initially hesitant when I heard about these changes, I have to admit that in practice this has helped quite a bit. For one, people are far more willing to revive teammates instead of the usual Battlefield experience where you're just ignored until you bleed out. Something else with the revival mechanic is that you can now drag allies into safety as well. Another major change is that any class can use any primary weapon. This means that people aren't playing support only to get access to SMGs or using engineer for shotguns. Players are able to pick purely on what utility options they want to use, which I would have thought meant narrowing what was in use, but again, that really doesn't seem to be the case in practice. This time around the gunplay is super satisfying, and while it wasn't bad in the previous games, there's something about this that is just so satisfying. The guns thump with each bullet, you feel the impact, and the scoring system is satisfying and doesn't overstay its welcome on screen. This game does a great job of giving you all of the information you need without making it distracting or annoying like a lot of the recent Call of Duty HUDs have been. Another change which I've been looking forward to is the return of destruction mid-match, instead of it being these one-time cinematic events. It's been too long, old friend. It's good to have you back. From what I've seen so far, this game has been super promising in terms of optimization without compromising on the visual quality or relying on frame gen for once. Though I've had one of my friends unable to start the game, I more suspect that's because they're still using a 1660 and need a serious upgrade. I'm sorry to call you out like this, man, but we gotta get that GPU changed. The game has had some issues, but in comparison to the past Battlefield betas, this looks like a complete product. I've seen a lot of people, as usual, complaining about things like visual quality, not having enough content, and there not being enough maps. As it stands, these complaints really don't hold any weight because it's an open beta and not the final product. But when it comes to complaining about the visuals, really, guys? Some of the scenery in this game is breathtaking if you have a moment to actually look at the environment surrounding you. Not to mention that the feedback and flow of the maps feel better than they have in years. I understand if you're not used to this type of gameplay or think that it's too punishing, but you'll always have the Call of Duty games available to you. This game doesn't want to be and isn't a Call of Duty title. Claiming that you're from the Battlefield 1942 era and that for some reason means you have some authority over what makes a good Battlefield game doesn't mean anything. This is the closest Battlefield has come to returning to Battlefields 3 and 4. The era that everyone has always said they need to return to. So far this game has garnered a lot of conversations, ranging from incredibly good opinions to people saying that this is absolute garbage. In my opinion, Battlefield 6 has a lot to offer, and this beta, for the first time in a very long time, has finally given me some quality enjoyment out of a Battlefield with both friends and when playing alone. The next beta weekend is coming up, and if you want to see what I think, or maybe even just chat while we enjoy what the game has to offer, you can find my brother and myself over on All Games No Life Live. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. Keep an eye out for more of these in the future, and I'll catch you in the next one.